What's happening, boxing? What's happening, YouTube? And about that boxing, I'm so happy to be back, man. All my peoples was like, man, where are you at? Not just the 345 I have on here, just other people that also watch my channel or knew that I was doing the channel anyway. If you ain't aware, it was Riyadh season over the weekend. Man, it was popping off in Los Angeles, California, as Terence Crawford faced off against Israel Madrimov for his WBA World Super Welterweight belt and the WBO Interim World Super Welterweight Championships. This was a chess match, pretty much. Both of these guys were very patient, so patient that fans started to boo a little bit. But in the end, Terence Crawford does edge Madrimov for a unanimous decision. One of the scores was a little wide, 116, 112. I did not see that in this fight, but the other judges had it on point with the 115, 113. That was way more accurate. I feel that Madrimov showed that he has skills. His movement was something that did keep Bud Crawford a little off of his game, whether he says it or not. Boxers don't like to admit when they were off a little bit or something was throwing them off. He says it wasn't. He said his patience is what was throwing him off because he was trying to bait him and do things that he wasn't going for. But when a guy has over 300 amateur bouts, he's probably not going to fall for the okie doke real easy. He's been through a lot of matches. He's 10-1-1 now. He lost his titles, but he lost it to, arguably this generation's best pound for pound fighter. So, he's one of those guys. He's one of those top competitors in the game of boxing right now, in the sport, period. So Terence Bud Crawford gets his 4th division world championship. What? Way to go, Terence Bud Crawford. This was not a Mitch match. A lot of people thought it was going to be. I never thought it was going to be. I know Israel Madrimov. I've heard of him, and I knew he had a crazy amateur career, and I've watched him fight, and he's really good. Now, I knew Terence Bud Crawford would not knock this guy out, and I think Terence Bud Crawford knew he wasn't going to knock Madrimov out. What he did was he waited. He was patient along with Madrimov. He did continue to score throughout. Both guys did throw punches. It just was nothing that was very convincing at first. As the match went on, the latter 4 rounds of the match, things started to pick up a little bit, and Terence Bud Crawford turned it up in rounds 11 and 12, and that's all she wrote. All right. He pretty much turned it up in the last 2 rounds to just edge the decision over to him. It was unanimous on all 3 scorecards, like I said. So what's next for Terence Bud Crawford? I know that this was a good victory, but it wasn't a spectacular looking victory. And Turki Al-Sheikh definitely has plans to work with Terence Crawford. He's trying to make that Terence versus Canelo Alvarez fight, which is what everybody's wanting to see. A lot of people believe, and this is me as well, I think Terence Bud Crawford needs to go ahead and hang out, at 154 for a little bit and establish himself, build his strength, his technique, everything there. Just at least be able to showcase himself at 154. Then go ahead and you can move on up to fight Canelo. Canelo could come down. Y'all could do it at a catch weight if Canelo is willing, because all of it's going to be about Canelo, 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 Canelo. So anyway, this was a really, really hard fight to score at first. Then it started to become a little bit easier to score as it went on. Madrimov did get some very good shots off. Cannot be upset, but as you can see by the look on his face, Terence Bud Crawford's jab was just really, he was catching him with it. Like I said, Madrimov has nothing to be ashamed of. He did a great job. I believe that he's still going to be one of those guys in the division. We were expecting a little bit more fireworks from this fight, and I know we were. But both of these guys were being patient because, for one, this was a big step up for Madrimov. You're going from fighting, I only got 8 fights type of guys to fighting literally one of the best guys in the game of boxing right now. So You know, it's just a big step up. And then for Terence Bud Crawford, it looked like, wow, Terence, you're just going to go take this guy's little belts. But that's for people that did not know that Madrimov had this deep, extensive amateur career. But the amateurs is not the pros. Yes, you can learn a lot. You're going to fight a lot of guys, but none of these guys have been in the pros and went up against that elevated competition. So it always ends up showing up in the end, but Madrimov actually did way better than anyone had feared him to do. And there were certain points at this fight where Madrimov was ahead. So, you know, it is what it is. Big love for Terence Bud Crawford. Always have had it. You go, Bud. It's about time. He had a big turnout. Lots of celebrities, lots of people there. As we saw, you know, Eminem did a whole damn concert. Like, it was crazy. All right. Anyway, man, that's all I got for this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think of Terence Bud Crawford's victory over Israel Madrimov. Do y'all think Madrimov actually pulled it off? I'm sure some people do. I'm sure the people from Uzbekistan probably think that Madrimov won that fight as well. But if you watch the fight, it was close. It was the 115, 113. That is the true score for that fight, in my opinion. So anyway, man, that's all I got for this one, man. I'll be back with another one, man. There were so many cards, undercards on here. I got way more to talk about from Riyadh season, the first one in the United States of America. Let's go. I'll be back. Amp about that boxing.